Hi gorgeous girls, how are you? I want you to make a healthy promise to yourself. How? How do you make a healthy promise? Well, understanding yourself is the first thing to do. And honey, be truthful with yourself. Now, last week on the blog, I came up with 10 excuses that you and I use that hold us back, that stop us being our gorgeous self, that hold you back from creating the dreams that you want for your life. Now, these 10 excuses were varied, they were very interesting, and they were dramatic. And the point is, the more dramatic and the more emotionally involved you are with your excuses, the harder it is to step back from them, to see them, and then to move on from them. We can hide in our excuses. And that was my point that I was making last week. I know that it's difficult to change. I understand that. I am as invested in my excuses as you are in yours. I've still got my dad's comments about thunder thighs coming through. But I'd like to think that I'm over that now, okay? I know that need for change, that feeling of wanting to eat well, to look after yourself and to exercise appropriately. I know that that's important to you. However, we are all invested in staying as we are. It is safe. We know how to stay safe. So how do you break through? Make a promise. Make a little beautiful promise to yourself. Break out and feel clear-headed. Feel calm and feel focused. Happier. You'll feel happier. When you make a promise to yourself, it will make you feel happier. And you will feel steady and less likely to react to the smallest of things because you're sticking to your promise. You are honouring yourself. So you want to feel in control. You want to eat well. You want to look after yourself and you want to exercise. But your excuses are stopping you from doing that. And it could be anything from not feeling well, overwhelmed, what your parents said to you in the past. But I want you to appreciate that your excuse is not down to your hormones or even your lovely mum. And it's not about being exhausted. They are symptoms of your excuse. That's what you've ended up with because you're making the excuse in the first place. Does that make sense, or is that a little bit head scratching? Well, you're holding yourself in overwhelm. You're holding yourself in this theory that your hormones are doing something. If you start to look after yourself and honour yourself, things will change. I want you to trust yourself, and I want you to get off the people-pleasing bandwagon, because that's also holding you still. So how can you honour yourself? How can you make a promise to yourself? Now, I've got 7 things, because you know me, I'm always an action girl. I'm always looking for things to do, and I do love an action plan. It helps me to stick to them. So the first thing you can do to make a promise to yourself is to make it realistic. Something small, something that you know that you can stick to. Not something huge that you're never going to manage. 6-week bikini fit. Ugh. It's not going to happen. Do something small, little and often, okay? That's the secret. Number 2, I'd like you to stretch yourself just a little bit further. So if you're going to stick to something little and often like water, this is just an example, and you're normally drinking 4 to 5 glasses of water a day, stretch yourself and make it 7 glasses of water. Join my water challenge and make it happen. Number 3, make your promise to yourself, honour yourself, you'll feel better. Make your promise wiggle proof, okay? So there's no get out. Once you've said it to yourself that you're going to do it, make it wiggle proof. So tell someone. Tell your community. That's where the gorgeous girls are brilliant. Self-care Sunday, we tell each other. We tell each other what we're doing. Exercise Saturday, we tell each other what we're doing. It makes you wiggle proof. You stick to it. Think ahead. That's number 4. Plan ahead. I know everybody's great at just rushing through, what we're going to have for dinner. Plan ahead. One of the gorgeous girls has got a blackboard in her kitchen and she's written out everything that she's going to make that week. Wow! That is fantastic. Plan ahead, and making a promise to yourself will be easier. Oh, write out a promise sheet. I love journaling. I love my 5-minute diary a day. I just write out all the little things that I'm going to do for myself, the little promises that I'm going to make. I will spend time with my family. I will go and do some exercise that I enjoy. Write it out. Make a little promise sheet. And then find an accountability buddy. Somebody that will hold you to your promise to yourself. An accountability buddy. Now again, that could be someone that you see every day, or it could be someone online. Think about it. Think laterally about who could be your accountability buddy. Making a promise to yourself, and a promise that is realistic, that stretches you a little bit, that is wiggle proof, that allows you to think ahead and write it out and find an accountability buddy. All of these things are going to help you to stick to your promise. And once you've stuck to your promise to yourself, you are going to feel much more confident. I promise you, you will. Your self-esteem will grow. If you're true to yourself and you're off that people-pleasing bandwagon, then you're going to feel happier and you are going to trust yourself. You know, after a while, when you've made a promise, you stick to it, and that is heartwarming to yourself. So breaking a promise to yourself has not a short-term effect, but it has a long-term cumulative effect. So I'd like you to make one little promise to yourself. Don't let go of your dreams. Fight for them. How do you set those promises up? You've got those things that you're going to do to set those promises up. How do you stick to them? You create consequences. Oh, sounds dramatic. Consequences. Your consequences could be a little uncomfortable. An uncomfortable consequence. Oh, what could that be? I know. No wine on a Friday night. If you don't stick to your promise to yourself, your uncomfortable consequence is no wine on Friday night. How does that sound? Or you have to do something that you really don't want to do. Maybe you've got to donate to a political party that you really don't like, Donald Trump. Maybe you've got to go and pay £10 to a political party or something you'd really abhor, so that you stick to your promise. How does that feel? Bit scary. How about the uncomfortable consequence is no coffee for a week? That's even worse, isn't it? Or how about no chocolate for a week? That's uncomfortable. So if you don't stick to your promise, those are the uncomfortable consequences, and you write it out on a little promise sheet. How about, this is fun, making your consequences embarrassing. So if you don't stick to the personal promise that you've got, how about you have to say hello to 5 strangers in a day? Or you've got to buy a coffee for a stranger and you have to explain why. That would be embarrassing. That would be weird. Or how about tell someone, fess up to someone, oh, I've broken this promise, and you've got to tell someone that you really don't want to tell, like your mum. Oh, Mum, I've got to tell you this, so you don't want to tell. All right, maybe that's not a good excuse, but somebody you really don't want to tell, that could be your embarrassing consequence. Or, this is a classic, sing out loud in public. I would lose friends and family if I did that. Sing loud in public. That's your consequence for not drinking 7 glasses of water, for not doing your exercise this week, for saying yes to something that you didn't want to say yes to. Those are your embarrassing, slightly annoying consequences. Or my favourite, exercise consequences. If you don't look after yourself this week, if you don't sit back and maybe meditate or be mindful, look after yourself, if you haven't done what you said you were going to do, how about an exercise consequence? How about 15 minutes extra cardio? How about cleaning out a sock drawer? Here's a goodie. How about, this would drive me insane, cleaning out your son's or husband's car? I don't think I could do it. I would definitely keep my promise. Or how about running upstairs 10 times? That's a bit much. Or 578 push-ups. The consequences are yours. Which consequence, and I've given you loads, are you going to use to make you stick to your habits, to make you stick to your personal promise to yourself? Now, I guarantee when you make a little promise, when you make it realistic and you follow it through, you will increase your confidence. You will trust yourself to do more and you will honour yourself. It's all about feeling good about who you are, feeling gorgeous, everything that you do. So I hope that's resonated with you. I hope I've made up for last week's 10 excuses that everybody found quite interesting and challenging. Please leave a message or contact me via my website, adele@get-gorgeous.com. And maybe you'd like to apply for a chat with me. That would be marvellous. Take care, stay gorgeous. Bye.